Welcome to Floorever, friends. I said Floorever, right?
Well, that's what we're going with. Okay.
Yeah, I think our New Year's episodes, I was editing it, and I said forever, not Floorever.
Did you? I
Yeah.
didn't notice. But I also play them at double speed. So.
Oh, I see how it is. You don't want to listen to me speak. That's fine.
Anyways. Are we reading? No, we're going with
No, this is what's happening now.
So, I forgot what we're talking about.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Well, so New Year's has just passed. Chinese New Year is coming up, or the Lunar New Year if you're not Chinese. It is the year of the rabbit, right? We were just talking about before this who we know was the year of the rabbit. Which I'm going to look up the years because I'm not going to do the math.
Okay, well, I know my dad is the year of the rabbit. He was born in 1964. I can keep going. 76, 88. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't sound right.
1999 is the recent one. Elon's a rabbit.
Wait, does that mean he was born in 65? Wait.
1963?
Oh, he's not a rabbit.
Oh, good. I was like, do you have his year wrong? Or
no, his year is 64, I think.
Okay, he's not a rabbit. He's the next one. A dragon?
No, because my sister's a dragon. And I remember him being a rabbit. Okay, well, here's the thing. We did talk about how Lunar New Year is weird because it starts late January. So, like, does that shift? Well, he was born in May. So that's like, someone is lying to me.
Is someone lying to you or you just don't know?
No, someone is lying to me. I'll have to ask my dad when I see him.
Do you remember your siblings' age based off of years? Like, yes. You don't know their immediate age. You just know what year they're born.
Yeah, because everyone stopped aging after, like, 12. When I turned 14, everybody was just the same age.
Why?
I don't know. I just, like, in my head, my sister is still, like, my youngest sister is still, like, 8 years old. Emily is still, like, 12.
Your youngest sister, but Emily?
Yeah, and then Emily is, like, 12. Like, I keep forgetting she's, how old is she? 23? 22? 22, 23.
To be 23 in
yeah,
like a month.
Because I forget my own age. Like, I don't feel 24.
Interesting.
What do you mean?
Well, I can understand if your siblings are really far apart in age. So, like, your youngest sister, I can understand why you know her based on year and not her actual age. But, like, Emily is only, like, a year or two younger than you.
Yeah.
So I would think that you're like, I'm 24. That means Emily is 22.
No, see, because I view myself as, like, 16. That's why I'm like, oh, she's, like, 14, 15. That makes sense to me. No?
I don't know. I only have one sister, and she's only a year older than me. So if I don't know her age, I don't know my age. So it's easy for me. But, like, my parents' age, for example, I know them based off year, and I have to do the math every single time. Because in my head, they're 50, and they haven't aged beyond 50.
Yeah, that's the same with my parents. Like, once actually, I didn't even realize her. I'm like, oh, wow, they're, like, in their 50s. They're reaching 60s now?
No, yeah, they're in their, like, the late 50s.
Yeah.
They're old.
No, but
sorry, parents.
No, I'm not sorry. They're old. No, but speaking of, like, not realizing my age, I was, like, on Instagram the other day, and I was, like, just looking at, like, people I went to high school with. I'm like, oh, they look like actual adults. And I'm like, oh, they're all the same age as me.
I definitely know what you're saying. Sometimes I meet people who are our age, and they just seem so much more mature than me. Or maybe they're not, but they seem that way. And I'm like, how are you at this point in your life? I feel like a child.
Right. I was like, I look at a person, I'm like, oh, they definitely have a 401k. Like, investment plans are playing the stock market.
What are you, a financial advisor?
Yeah, like,
and
full
meanwhile,
on.
We're like,
yeah, I'm just like,
open a library book.
I'm a baby. Anyways, you were looking up the years.
Oh, yeah, because it's the year of the rabbit. So, 1999. 2011.
Oh, it's Yulon 99?
I guess.
Yeah, Yulon's rabbit.
I guess he's a rabbit.
Yeah.
Seems fitting.
Yeah, it does.
Let's look up the characteristics. Oh. They are witty and quick-minded. They're compatible with goats, dogs, and pigs.
That's it.
I'm sorry, let me find a better site. Rabbits are gentle and sensitive and compassionate and modest and merciful and have strong memory. They like to communicate with others in a humorous manner. They cannot bear dull life. So they are good at creating romantic or interesting space. Those are their strengths. Should we read the weaknesses?
Yeah.
It says they often sink money into ideas that may cause failures in their career.
Oh, okay, so we should never ask Yulan to be business partners.
No. I want just like a list. I don't want to read this paragraph. This one says rabbit is a tame and tender animal.
Like as a pet?
Well, it says people born in the year of the rabbit usually have soft and tender personality traits.
Oh, I don't think that describes
Once
Yulan.
again, modest attitude, maintain a pleasant relationship to people around. They will not be irritated easily, and they avoid quarrels as much as possible. Okay, we're looking for weaknesses. It says they are overcautious, keep themselves nervous always, conservative and hesitant in character. Sometimes they are ambitious. They dare not take actions immediately.
I feel like these aren't really weaknesses, though. Like, it just means, like, they're not brash, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like, they like to think things through. Do you prefer looking at your, like, horoscope, your, like, Western astrology, or do you look towards your Chinese zodiac? Like, when you're looking at, like, personalities and, like, seeing... like, if you're like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely a tiger. I'm like, oh, I'm so a Leo.
I feel like the Chinese zodiac one doesn't really make that much sense because you know a lot of people who are born in the same year as you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of those people where you're like, we're nothing alike.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, how could this possibly make sense? And that would mean that there's only like, 12 animals, 12 personalities. Mm-hmm. And I guess we were talking about this earlier that depending on what year you're born, so like I'm born the year of the ox, and ox born a different year, it's going to be different than me. Like there's characteristics for each year, but I still don't think that makes very much sense. But then in Western astrology, it doesn't make sense that everyone born the month of November or so is the similar personality to me. But I think Western astrology, at least from what I know about it, there's a lot more details because like, you have your sun sign. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the rising sun.
What's the main one called? Your sun sign?
Yeah, the rising sign.
You have like your sun sign, and then you have like your moon sign and your like rising sign and like your Mars and your Venus and things that I don't know that cosine tells me.
Yeah. How do you really believe in it? Like, do you actually like look towards advice? Because I have like some people who are like, yeah, it's pretty accurate, and then some people are like, no, it's complete and utter fake.
No, I don't believe in it, but I do enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I look at like my horoscope. I'm a Sagittarius, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, I could see like me being a Sagittarius. Like there's some similarities. I feel like if you look at your sun sign, if you can't find any similarity, I think that doesn't make any sense. Like it's so broad.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's like also I know like in other countries too, they have things beyond just like your horoscope and zodiac. Like I know Korea does blood types.
See, that one makes even less sense to me because there's only a few types of blood.
Yeah, like 4 types, 5 types.
And it's completely genetic.
Yeah.
So...
But see, then that goes on to speak of like, oh, is it nurture versus nature? And the blood typing is just, it's your nurture, right? Or nature, right? Because you were born with a certain blood type.
What about you? Do you believe in your, like...
No, because like I also am kind of like, if you look at it, horoscopes are kind of just like written broadly enough that like anybody can look at it and just be like, oh yeah, that's definitely me. But I agree. It's like, I think it's more of a for fun thing.
It's for fun. Yeah. Even if you don't believe in it, I'm like, I'm still gonna look at it.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I like to read it. Like, if it's there, I'm gonna definitely look for my sign.
And I still like to like read my cosine because that's like the most in-depth one. And I'm like, oh wow, it tells me everything that I did not know. Right.
You're just like, oh, I never thought about it that way or something.
But sometimes I read my cosine and I'm like, this is kind of oddly accurate.
Yeah. You're just like, stop reading me, gosh.
See, but that one's interesting because it goes beyond your like sun sign and your moon sign and your rising sign. Like you have to put in your time of birth and your city, and then does all these other ones that I wasn't aware of, and I'm like, wow, it really knows me.
Astrology is crazy. Maybe I should have like looked up the history of it beforehand, but we're talking about it today, so oh well.
I just spent the last 13 minutes trying to read things on my phone. I hate reading out loud. I was one of those kids who would like read the paragraph ahead.
Yep.
In my head.
Yep. There's like these
before I was called on, but even then I still made mistakes.
Well, that's like what there's like memes and like TikToks and stuff. They're like, oh, you know, you have anxiety now when you were that kid that would read during like a popcorn read. Like you do popcorn reading.
That's
in
the
like
worst.
2nd grade. Yeah. Well, I would like count it out. Then I'd be like, okay, well now I have to read like 3 paragraphs out and just do that. But then I don't know. Sometimes they would just like skip over someone. I'm just like, now I have to reread something else.
It's also the worst because now I'm not listening because I'm reading. But even then, I still mess up. I hate reading out loud. I'm just one of those people who can't read out loud.
Okay, so for our New Year's special, we didn't get to talking about 2023.
No.
Are there certain things that you're looking forward to in 2023, or just like, you know, starting a new year fresh?
No.
Not really.
No, I mean, I just hope 2023 is like a good, fun year. I'm looking forward to traveling. I'm looking forward to just trying new things. But overall, I don't think I have a ton of things that I'm like, I have to do it this year. I'm just gonna go with the flow.
Yeah.
What about you?
I know like for long-term plans, I don't have anything specific for 2023. Short-term plans, so I know we talked about going to the temple. And I'm excited for that, the Buddhist temple, because I've never been, and I think it'll be like an interesting experience.
So we just got hit with a giant snowstorm though, so while I'm thinking about it. So when I went there over the summer with my dad and my sister, we had to drive on this dirt road.
Ooh.
Which there is so much snow that even the bigger cars are getting stuck right now. So I don't know if we're going to be able to go, but we are trying to go in like a week, so maybe things are cleared out.
Yeah, just in time for Chinese New Year, or for Lunar New Year.
Yeah.
Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. The Cambodian temple, or the Buddhist temple. Yeah, Buddhist temple.
It is a large Cambodian temple too, actually. Yeah.
Oh, is it like
I don't know.
separate?
People call it a Cambodian temple, but it's actually a Buddhist temple.
Okay.
I don't know what's the like technical term for
it. I wonder if it's just because it's like the architecture of it, is it slightly different? Wow, I don't know a lot to be talking about.
There are. So, like, when I went there with my dad, we did see some, like, statues there, and he was like, oh, like, this is straight from Cambodia. Like, it says it on there.
Oh, sure.
So, and people do say it's the largest one in, I'm going to say the Midwest, because I'm not sure if it's the largest one in the United States or just the Midwest. It's definitely the largest one in the Midwest for Cambodian temples.
Yeah.
But it's also a Buddhist temple, because we saw lots of people there who weren't Cambodian, but were Buddhist.
I'm sure it's like probably like derived from Cambodia, but like, you know, overall it's like the closest thing to like a Buddhist temple.
I'm sure some of the architecture too, like traditional Cambodian architecture, is derived from like Buddhist architecture, because that's the major religion there. Yeah, I think
like Southeast Asia.
Yeah. But it's really nice. It's really large, and it was really cool to see. And because my dad is from Cambodia, he knew some of the statues were and like what they represented.
Oh, that's cool.
Whereas I was like, oh, this is really cool. I've never really seen this, or this is kind of what I expected to see, but didn't know anything about it.
Have you ever gone to Cambodia? Or like?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't either. My dad went and he offered, but I think it's because he hadn't been back in so long that he didn't want to take us. So he's just like, no. And then when he came back, he was like, yeah, it was like nice like to go back, but at the same time it's just like it's different, you know, because he hadn't been back
together.
Well, like he was saying, he's like, it's kind of sad when you go back because it's not the same as he remembers it, you know, because it's like when you go there, it's like you can't really like live there comfortably, because obviously it's not a first, like it's not like America, you know. So he's just like, it's an adjustment, and it's like, I think he went during the summer, so like one of the hottest months down there. So he's like, it was nice going back, but he didn't enjoy the trip, if that makes sense.
I think a lot of it too is when you like live in America for too long, you start to assimilate, and there are certain things you can do here that you can't do in other places, or certain luxuries that you have. So then when you go back, you're like not really whitewashed, but you are at the same time.
Yeah. Also, like when I think about it too, my parents left Cambodia when they were teenagers, I think. Yeah. So it's like hard to go back and be like, you're living in America for what, 40 plus years, 50 plus years. Yeah.
My dad enjoys it though, but I think he enjoys it more because the language, he's much more comfortable speaking Cambodian than he is like English. And he has a larger vocabulary and can like make jokes that he couldn't make in English. So he enjoys it.
Yeah.
But he also has family there, so.
Yeah, I don't know if we still have family. I think we have like a couple of cousins, but like obviously we don't talk to them that much. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, we just have my one aunt and her family. And I met my uncle for the first time this year, actually. He came and visited with my cousin. But there wasn't much conversation because I don't speak.
Yeah. I don't speak in general. Like, you don't speak the language, you just don't speak. You're just quiet the entire time. Yeah.
Well, I feel bad though. Like, I wish I could communicate, but I can't. And there's no way for me to like try to.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do?
Right. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to learn a language.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's also hard to learn languages that I think aren't as common. Yeah.
I've never tried learning Cambodian though. I feel like
either.
Yeah, I was like most of my family mostly speaks Cantonese. So it's just like, oh, it's easier to learn Cantonese, but even then it's like a lot of people learn Mandarin. And what I've been told is that a lot of the Cantonese now is being kind of like assimilated to Mandarin. So what I would know or what my family speaks is like an older traditional style Cantonese. So I'm just like, wow, I don't even know. Like I don't even know.
You only need to communicate with your own family.
Yeah. And most of them speak English now, so.
Yeah, my family also speaks another dialect of Chinese that is less common. And that's the one they actually always speak. So I didn't realize my parents still spoke Cambodian until like my cousin came to the United States to go to high school. And then I was like, oh, you do speak Cambodian. Because I've never heard them speak before that. They always are speaking in like Mandarin or Teochew or English. So then I was surprised. But I guess it makes sense. They grew up there.
Yeah.
So 2023.
Okay, yes. So short term, Buddhist temple. What else? A lot of like winter activities that I think I want to try.
We keep saying that we won't make plans on our podcast, but it kind of just naturally happens and we're talking about things that we want to do. Yeah, we have a lot of winter activities planned, I think. But we really should plan our trip up north. We really want to go up north. And we can do our winter activities there. But unfortunately, it is January and February, so we are going to freeze. But that's okay.
Well, the other thing, too, is that, like, we always want to do it, but then we're like, oh, but the road conditions are so bad. Like, we can't drive up there.
We can.
One day we'll do it.
One day in the distant future.
What else? 2023. Can you believe it's 2023?
No.
I like forgot that 2021 and 2022 happened. Like,
it's like year just went so fast.
Yeah.
That I'm like, wow, it's 2023.
Yeah. Wow, the years really do keep coming and they don't stop coming.
Unfortunately, if we could just pause right here. That's what I was telling my coworkers before I turned 25. I was like, can I just pause at 24? And they're like, no, you want to turn 25 so you can at least rent a car. And I'm like, I don't even really want to try.
So you're like, I have my own car.
Pause. Well, like if we went somewhere, we could rent a car now because I'm 25.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
But I would rather just like pause.
Well, instead of renting a car, you know what people have been doing instead? Renting U-Hauls.
Oh, yeah. But it's also partly because, one, it's hard to rent a car, but you also don't need to be 25 to rent a U-Haul, do you?
Yeah, you only have to be 18. Actually, yeah, 18.
No, I believe that, Which doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it. You're still technically renting a car. Yeah. There's insurance and things involved. Yeah, I know people do that.
Yeah.
I've had people, like, tell me that, like, their car breaks down, so then they can't find a rental car, so then they'll rent, like, a U-Haul, and I'm like, wow. I guess.
I guess if, like, you don't need it for multiple days, it's cheaper to just rent a U-Haul, because I think you just pay the initial, like, rental fee, and then you pay, like, per mileage. But that starts to add up if you actually have to use a rental car, like a car for multiple days.
I don't know.
But I know a lot of people were doing that because during the pandemic, there was, like, a car shortage, too. So a lot of, like, rent-a-car places were running out of cars. Do you have a bucket list before you turn 30?
No, I don't.
Should we make one?
A bucket list before I turn 30?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Oh, we're making one now? I feel like we need to, like, vision board this. I need to travel more. I think I talked about it before. I might have cut it out in the New Year's episode, but traveling to Japan and or Korea. That's still up there.
Yeah, we do need to travel more.
Yeah, and I don't know. We have a decent amount of years left. 6 years. 5, 6 years.
Not enough.
Yeah, I know, because we just talked about it. 3 years goes by really fast.
But at the same time, like, why is 30 a marker? Remember, your 30s are like your 20s with money.
Is it?
I hope so.
Oh.
No, but yeah, definitely traveling more. I feel like that's my major one, traveling more. I would like to be married by 30.
By 30? I would agree.
Yeah, I would like to be married by 30.
I'd like to maybe own a house. I don't know. With this economy, I don't know about owning a house.
I think owning a house scares me.
Really? What about it scares you?
The commitment.
Oh, of staying in one place?
I feel like the minute I sign, like the minute I try to buy a house, the minute I sign for a house is the minute I want to move.
Yeah, okay.
Like that thought scares me that I have to like commit to owning this house.
Yeah. Well, isn't it crazy? My sister bought a house at 26, 27.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 years from now. Can you imagine owning a whole house?
No, but I also wouldn't want to like live in a house by myself.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what it is about like living in a house by myself that scares me so much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just too big of a space for one person. Mm-hmm. Even a small house, I'm like, what if something's happening on the other side and I can't hear it?
Mm-hmm. You gotta just get pets then. Or I guess like you would buy a house with a partner.
My dogs don't bark when I enter the home. So
it's a good thing though, isn't it? It's not as annoying.
But then do they even know I entered?
Oh, do they not like come up and greet you?
Well, in the middle of the night, no, they're asleep.
Oh. Well, your dogs are old. Well, except for Link, I guess.
Link is young.
Link is a young dog.
But at like a solid like 10 or 11 o'clock, the boy's asleep.
Yeah.
He's a sleepy dog at the time. He's very much still a puppy. He's like 4 years old, okay? He is not a puppy anymore, but he very much is still a baby.
Yeah, he's a baby compared to Buddy, at least.
Oh, Buddy just sleeps all the time.
Yeah.
I think Link thinks I'm another dog. Because I swear he tries to put his toy in my mouth, and I'm like, I am not a dog, sir. It's really cute, but I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
He's so funny, though, because so Link is a golden doodle, and he's a tall one. Like, he's definitely has, like, the poodle height, and he comes up to, like, my waist, but he thinks he's a lap dog, and he very much insists on, like, being in your lap. So if I'm sitting on the floor, he won't sit next to me or, like, in front of me. He will try to sit on my legs. It's pretty cute.
Yeah. Dogs are too good for us.
Here we are, back to filming. It's been a while since we filmed, actually.
Yeah, how long has it been? Like a month, right?
It's been like a month. Yeah, so it's been a really long time.
What were you doing in that month of not filming in between? You went back to Chicago.
Oh, yeah, I went home for the holidays, so I was gone for 2 weeks. Didn't really do much. I don't really ever do much when I go back to Chicago. I am just trying to lounge around my house. Just be in a house. It's really nice.
Did you catch up with any old friends?
Yeah, I saw a few of my friends from high school. Not all of them, just because there was supposed to be this really bad snowstorm. I didn't really go out for those days. And then I was kind of just making plans as my family was busy. So, like, if they were busy, I was like, okay, I'll go see my friends. What did you do in that month?
Nothing. I did videos. I couldn't go back home because of the snowstorm. Yeah. So the plan is to go back for Chinese New Year's.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're going home in like 2 weeks?
Yes.
Angela, you're leaving me.
It's only for the weekend.
Still.
I'll see you immediately, though.
Still,
yeah, we'll see how long I actually stay there.
Yeah, Angela and I have been apart for 2 weeks.
I know. Immediately when you came back, I was like, oh, Sarah's back. I don't know if I no, I didn't message you day of. I think
you messaged me day of, but then I saw her yesterday. I'm seeing her today. I'm seeing her tomorrow. I'm seeing her next week again, probably several times.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. At least a couple times because Tuesdays are recording days, and then we have Yulan's thing too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yulan's birthday is coming up. Wish him happy birthday.
Yeah, that's exciting. I don't think we ever did a shout out to their Instagrams or whatever, but they're not really public figures, so I don't know if they wanted to do that.
Yulan doesn't have an Instagram.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You know what? I also recently just got his phone number.
I don't have his phone number.
I was like, oh, I've been friends with you for what, 4 years now or something? And I'm just like, I still don't have your phone number. And he's like, you don't need it. And I'm like, what? He's like, you contact me just fine. And I'm like,
do we?
I was like, we barely hang out. And I think part of the reason is because I don't have your phone number.
Well, even if you had his phone number, you would still message him through Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, yeah. No, I'm gonna start writing him with like a pigeon and like old school. Like this is the only way.
He lives, you can just drop in his mailbox.
Yeah. Okay, so like to our like 2 viewers out there, because I know we have at least 2. My sister is one of them. What should we talk about?
She doesn't count.
She does count. What should we talk about?
Doesn't count.
Okay, so I know how we said that we didn't really look at logistics. I do remember seeing though on our first video, we have 13 views.
Oh.
And I think they're all Emily's friends.
I was gonna say,
so I don't know.
All related to you?
Yeah. I think they're Emily's friends.
Oh,
so Emily's friends, if you're watching this, we love you. Thank you for supporting us. And I'm honestly surprised you made it to 5 episodes.
But what if they didn't? What if they dropped it?
They might have dropped it. So we might be speaking to nobody. It might just be the void. I'm keeping this in, so it's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, we never know how to end these.
We're done. Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye. Subscribe. Listen on Spotify and YouTube.
Forgot we have social media.
Yeah, and follow us on Instagram at Floorever Friends.
Follow us at Floorever Friends on all our social media.
Yeah. I think just Instagram right now and potentially TikTok. We'll see. It might be banned soon.